Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Kayla Rude. So this is going to be a real talk video, and it's a new series that I'm starting, and I'm going to share what's going on in my life, things that I'm dealing with emotionally, physically, school-wise, and any issues that I want to share with you guys you can find in this session, and it's just going to be the story of what I'm going through. I am a high school student with anxiety. I've dealt with feelings of anxiety since my freshman year of high school. And feeling some anxiety in school is completely normal, especially for an AP honors student. But it reached new levels my junior year. I began to freak out about every little minute detail in my curricular life. If I got a C on a test, I felt so disappointed in myself and disgusted with myself because I didn't do well. If I failed a test, I had a panic attack. Because if I failed that test, then I wouldn't get a good score on the SAT or ACT. I wouldn't get into a good college. If I didn't get into a good college, then I wouldn't get a good education. And if I didn't get a good education, then I wouldn't get a good job. And if I didn't get a good job, I'd wind up working some minimum wage job, being miserable in my life and wanting to kill myself. That was my thought process, because I got an F on a test. A singular test that I retook and I got an A or a B on. But my mental stability spiraled so out of control that the littlest thing that I did, the littlest error that I made, the littlest mistake, it turned into a world collapsing event. If I didn't do well on a homework assignment, my world imploded. I would stay up late at night my junior year, unable to sleep because I would be freaking out about college. Well, what if they don't accept me? What if they don't like me? What if I'm not good enough? What if I didn't do everything that I could have? What if I could have done more? What if I could have done better? What if I would have studied for that test 2 hours later? If I would have only gotten 6 hours of sleep that night, or 4 hours of sleep that night, or 2 hours of sleep? 2 hours of sleep. To study for a test that I was prepared for. I began to push myself so far, so hard, so fast that I fell apart. I had a breakdown December of my junior year, first or second week. Finals were coming up. I was stressed. I had a giant performance for band and I was stressed. I had a billion teachers trying to get me to all make their class a priority, and I was stressed. Nobody could see that I was splintering at my very core. Nobody knew that I only got 4 hours of sleep. And it was not restful sleep either. I was tossing and turning. I had nightmares about testing and about how if I got 1 point more, I could have gotten into my dream school. Eventually, a very good teacher told me that I needed to get help. Told me that I needed to see someone because I couldn't breathe. I would run out of their class crying and having an asthma attack, or what they thought was an asthma attack, but it wasn't. I was shaking. I was unable to look at a test and answer a question because there was so much other stuff running through my head. I couldn't just pull something out and focus on it. I was going through so much because it was so overblown in my head. I don't know what caused this, but I'm learning to live with it. I'm learning to live with the fact that I'm a high school student with severe anxiety, and there are days where I have to struggle every inch of my being to show up for class in the morning knowing that I'm going to fail a test and thinking that if I fail that test then my scholarship's going to get revoked and I'm not going to be able to afford to go to the school of my dreams. Knowing that's how I feel taking that test, my heart is racing. My mind is so consumed by thoughts that don't make sense. They are so overblown. And there is no reason to believe that failing a single calc test is going to lead me living in the gutter at the very end of the universe. But that's how my mind works. I go to the worst possible scenario first. I'm trying to stop my mind and backtrack and be like, okay, if I don't do well here, there's the final, which counts as a retest, and I can do that, and it'll all be fine. But then I think, well, what if I fail the final? What if I have a D my senior year in calculus? What if? That's all that seems to go through my head nowadays. What ifs? Well, the reality of the world is you can't plan for every what if. I fell asleep at 11 o'clock at night on my desk on top of a pile of calculus work trying to study and cram for the test. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning with the worst kink in my neck and I didn't know what to do. Part of my mind told me to just stay up and continue studying because that's what's more important than sleep. That's what's more important than brushing your teeth or eating. There's this voice in my head that tells me that school should be the only thing I care about, that I'm not allowed to have fun because I'm struggling. That's what it's like living with anxiety as a high school student. Your mind does not let you have fun because you are so consumed with the fact that you could have done something differently. You could have changed something. You could have passed that test because you studied more. If you didn't go out with your friends to see that movie and you stayed home and you read that book, you could have done better on that project. Or if you stayed home and did those physics problems, you could have passed with an A+ on that thing, even though it doesn't even count for a grade. Everyone expects you to give your 100% to them all the time. But how can I give 9 different people 100%? That's 900%. I'm only one person. How can I be expected to take on leadership projects and still do extremely well in school and deal with family stuff and no one cuts me a break? How? My mind is constantly consumed by ideas that could never happen, by things that I would never let happen, but they're there. And I will never be able to get rid of them completely. I'm learning to deal. I'm learning to cope. I'm learning to understand that this is not reality. That just because I do horrible on one test does not mean that the rest of my life is ruined. Because most people see you as more than your test score. But they're there. I still struggle to sleep at night because I'm worrying about colleges. In the end, it's a group of 11, 20 people, somewhere in that range, that have never met me. They don't know who I am. They only know what I typed and put in a paper. They only know my test scores and my grades. They only know what the interview told them, but they've never seen my face. They don't know my struggles. They don't know that I have to fight to silence the voice in my head that tells me I'm not good enough. I'm learning how to shut it up, but it's always there. You're not good enough. You're not thin enough. You're not smart enough. You're not beautiful enough. You're not talented enough. You don't care enough. You don't do enough. Well, I'm telling that voice enough. Enough of this, I'm not good enough. Enough of this, I can't do it because I'm such and such. I'm taking a stand for myself, and I'm telling that voice to shut up because I'm realizing that I am good enough. I'm strong. And I am dedicated, and I am driven, and that is enough. I am enough. Thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up down below, and if you're not already subscribed, just hit that subscribe button down below so that you can see more of my videos, and I hope to bring you more content like this. If you want to see something different or another video focusing on a topic that high school students have to deal with, then definitely leave a comment down below. If this helped you in any way, then yeah, just comment down below. Communicate with me. I want to know what you think. Thank you guys. I hope you all have a spectacularly wonderful day.